Soon after you finished CalArts, as a very young man in your early 20s, you made yet another seemingly radical decision to head to Alaska. How and why did you make that decision, and how and when did it become a decision that stuck for 30-something years?
Yeah. Well, I owe it all to Los Angeles. I really detested Los Angeles. I mean, the whole time I was there, I had this sort of gnawing feeling in the pit of my stomach that I was lost. You know, not musically. I was in the Garden of Eden musically, but sort of there was this deep, unspoken, this inarticulate hunger somewhere in my soul. It was homesickness. But of course, I had no idea where home might be because I had grown up in equally homogeneous suburban surroundings here and there. So there was never a place to which I belonged. And LA really brought that home in a kind of gut-wrenching way. Made an environmentalist out of me also. At that time, what we thought were to be the last California condors there were just a couple of pair still in the Los Padres forest here. And that captured my imagination in a poignant way. Never saw one, but went looking. And somewhere along the way, I got captivated with the struggle for the Alaska Lands Act to preserve complete, intact ecosystems, millions and millions of acres of original North America in Alaska. And so I went north and in 1975, and from the moment I arrived, I knew I'd found home.
And how quickly did the idea of, in a way, writing Alaska, composing your surroundings settle in? What were your early pieces like? Was there a transition, or did that take hold quickly?
No, it was instantaneous. You know, it's hard to describe now, and I'm just beginning work on a new book, and I'm going to sit down in Alaska this summer and think about this and find words for it. But there was a feeling to be a young person, to be 21 years old in Alaska at that time. It just felt as though anything was possible. The whole world was open before me, and the possibilities were just endless. And you know, at that time, Alaska was the youngest state in terms of the median age, which was 28. We were the wealthiest state. We were the most educated state. We had everything going for us. And I was part of a little bubble group of I guess, recovering hippies who went to Alaska with a kind of ecotopian ideal of creating a young person's society there in the north, and to show the rest of the country and the rest of the world how it could be done.
Outside of Fairbanks, so
yeah,
fairly far.
But you know, I mean, Alaska is enormous place, but it's a small town still. Mm-hmm. So everyone knew everyone else from Barrow to Juneau. So we won and we lost. We won in the form of preserving 104 million acres of original Alaska with the Alaska Lands Act of 1980, and I played a big part in that, which remains one of the most deeply satisfying moments of my life. But ultimately, the utopian vision, I think, was not realized because we were up against forces that were so much bigger than we understood, particularly big oil.